This chemistry topic is about acids and alkalis, potentially dangerous substances, so we need to think about risk assessment, and so this focus here is hazard symbols. We've got two fairly low level descriptors here, so we need to be able to describe what the main hazard symbols are, and there's two of them for acids and alkalis, and then we've got to make a note of what the safety precautions are. So in our risk assessment, this is the control measure. So how are we going to control the hazard to minimise the risk? Now, a lot of students think that acids are more dangerous than alkalis, but that's not actually the case. Both strong acids and strong alkalis are equally dangerous. And interestingly, the substances that we're most likely to come across in the home will be alkalis, not acids, but alkalis. Cleaning products very often are made up of strong alkalis, and they're corrosive. So a couple of examples there would be bleach and oven cleaner. Now we've got two symbols that we'd use. I wonder if you can remember what these symbols are. Well, the answer here is given to you: corrosive. Whatever you say, don't say burning, because that would be incorrect. So these liquids are corrosive, and what that means is it dissolves materials such as skin and perhaps a material like metal. So it's going to dissolve or corrode those materials, and that's the case for strong acids and strong alkalis. This symbol here means harmful, okay, fairly generic, harmful. Now, for the purposes of our work, harmful means irritant. So I'm going to turn this exclamation mark on its head. And when you turn it on its head, you've got the letter I, which is the first letter in irritant. So that best describes weak acids and weak alkalis. So if you were to get them on your skin, after a while they begin to irritate you, so you might get a bit of a red rash and it would become itchy. So we've got corrosive for strong acids and alkalis, and we've got harmful or irritant for the weak acids and alkalis. Now I've got to be a little bit careful what I say here, because the concentration of the acid is also harmful, or can be harmful. If you've got a particularly concentrated acid, then the more harmful it becomes. But as a general rule, our strong and concentrated acids and alkalis would have this symbol, but our weaker, more dilute acids and alkalis would have this symbol. So I think that summarises it a bit better. So how would we protect ourselves against these sorts of chemicals? Pause the video and think of what your answer will be. So a common sense approach here. Obviously, in the lab, you're always asked to wear safety glasses. So those safety glasses or safety goggles to protect your eyes is important. You'd also perhaps think about protective clothing, especially for strong concentrated acids. So for example, oven cleaner comes with rubber gloves to protect your hands. The final thing it's worth mentioning when we think about hazard symbols is that these symbols are well recognised. These symbols are used throughout the whole of Europe, so it's agreed that Europeans will use these symbols. You could argue that they're internationally recognised as well, so the fire service, chemical engineers, scientists, they would know what these symbols mean. Okay, so that's us. We've looked at those two learning outcomes. We've identified the two main hazard symbols which relate best to acids and alkalis. We've used a fairly common sense approach to how to protect ourselves from these chemicals.